On the heels of back-to-back World Series titles, you would think the Dodgers would be sitting pretty. And they are, let's be honest. It's not like they suck. But anybody who's the best at anything and wants to stay on top is always looking at areas to improve. If you watched last year's World Series, their defense came up big in games 6 and 7. You'd have thought, hey, they had one of the best defenses in baseball. But they didn't. Last year's defense ranked 17th overall according to FRV, or fielding run value. If you exclude the catching position, primarily held by Will Smith, their infielders and outfielders had an FRV of 9, which ranked 12th. This was an area that needed improvement. Well, through 60 games this season, their infielders and outfielders ranked 2nd, only behind the Cubs with a combined FRV of plus 19. How did they make this dramatic improvement from 12th to 2nd? Well, let's start with the person I didn't see coming and has been a miraculous improvement at the age of 35. Max Muncy, their third baseman. He went from being tied for last in FRV through 60 games last season to the best third baseman this season, according to FRV. Well, how was he able to do this? Now, let's take a look back at his past. During the first couple years with the Dodgers, he played primarily first and second base.
They got the real man going out to LA and playing first base.
Well, so much for playing first base. After the Freeman signing, Muncy would become the full-time third baseman. He was one of the worst defenders at the position. If you look at defensive numbers from 2023, he ranks 77th out of 82. If you look at the names that were worse than him, they were so bad defensively that they either had to change positions, like in the case of Steer, Devers, and Berger, or they're out of the league in case of Nick Maton. Now, the other name on the list is an extremely weird case, Ramon Urias. He went the total opposite of what you would hope for. A year earlier in 2022, he won a Gold Glove with the highest FRV of all American League third basemen with plus 8. Then in 2023, he goes on to become one of the worst. In 2024, he's one of the worst. So I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he had a Carlos Correa situation and he had bad masseuse. But whatever the reason, that's not what you want. Now back to the Dodgers. Now, people in the Dodgers organization had to be contemplating whether to slide Muncy over to DH so they could improve defensively.
Breaking news from Major League Baseball, where Shohei Ohtani is signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, now DH is no longer available. Muncy had one option and one option only. That was either improve his defense or he's probably going to be on a new team eventually. And so he knew that, and this is what he said. I've been very open about how I want to stay here for the rest of my career. And let's be real, there's not really a DH spot anymore. So if I want to play here, I need to make sure I'm in the field, and the best way to do that is just put myself in a good spot. So Muncy went to work. After the 2024 season, instead of waiting until next season's spring training to practice, he devoted more time in the offseason to improve his fielding. He spent hours taking grounders. He switched to practicing with a smaller glove to help his footwork and help him get down on those grounders. But the 2025 season saw him rank 75th out of 82 third basemen. It didn't help. It's possible that the bone bruise in his left knee that caused him to miss 25 games, or the right oblique injury that caused him to miss 23 games, hurt his fielding. But whatever the reason for the lack of the performance, that didn't stop Max. After the 2025 season, he focused less on strength and more athleticism. He hoped losing weight would help his mobility and range, so he worked on his diet. Like a lot of others, he said cutting out bread was the hardest part. The diet worked, and he lost 17 pounds. He's moving better than he has in years, and it shows in his FRV. Most athletes are declining at 35. They lose first step quickness and the ability to cover ground. Their reaction time slows. But Max is turning back the clock, and he's become the best defensive third baseman in the game at 35 years old. What was one of their biggest liabilities on defense has become one of their greatest strengths. He's been the biggest reason for their defensive improvement from 12th to 2nd. The already stacked Dodgers just gave the league one more reason to worry. Drop Max in the comments if you're a fan of his.